Coming up on Mountain News at 6, Governor Andy Beshear hosts a Team Kentucky briefing, which included some big news for some here in eastern Kentucky. And we'll hear from officials with the Perry County School District about the decision to push back the start date for Buckhorn School.
And highs today were in the 80s and 90s, but now thunderstorm chances are on the increase. Details in a few minutes.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Governor Andy Beshear hosted a Team Kentucky update today and announced some big news for flood-affected counties here in the mountains. WYMT's Austin Hicks has the latest.
Since 2022, many people in eastern Kentucky have faced hardship after hardship. From the devastating flood of July 2022 to as recently as the Memorial Weekend storms that impacted several counties. To help people in those communities, Governor Beshear announced that several communities will receive funding to help those impacted.
Less than a month after the floods, I called for a special legislative session to help speed up the recovery. I was proud to work with the legislature and grateful the General Assembly appropriated $212 million to the Eastern Kentucky State Aid for Emergencies, or EK Safe Fund.
Breathitt County received more than $3 million in funding. During the briefing, Beshear made a surprising announcement, introducing the start of a nearly $50 million project of KY-15, as well as strengthening and stabilizing the dam that holds Pan Bowl Lake.
This is a heavily traveled corridor that will bring much anticipated improvements and enhanced safety and economic benefits for Breathitt County and for eastern Kentucky. It's going to add lanes and sidewalks to the busy stretch of road that is in Jackson, but it also further strengthens and stabilizes the dam that holds Pan Bowl Lake.
With several counties receiving funds from the SAFE Fund, county officials are excited about the progress they will make with the funding.
There's a long way to go. There's a long way to go, but when you see us get these funds, you'll see us start doing more FEMA work to help people get back to where they need to be.
The governor also provided updates regarding relief efforts in eastern Kentucky.
We've now announced 7 high ground communities in 4 counties. Together, these communities will bring over 500 new homes to the area. And on top of that, we've announced a bunch in Breathitt County and are finding new spots of land every day to build more.
Governor Beshear also announced the launch of the Disaster Needs Portal, which people can use to help apply for housing and help after a disaster has struck. In Hazard, Austin Hicks, WYMT Mountain News.
During the briefing, Governor Beshear announced that Floyd County will receive $2.5 million, Perry County gets $5 million, and Letcher County will receive more than $5 million. More about this on our website and all the individual projects. Well, a man was indicted in Clay County after police say he took a picture of a naked child. A grand jury indicted James Hayes with 1 count of promoting a sexual performance by a minor under the age of 18 and sexual abuse of a minor under the age of 12. The first count says Hayes took a photo of a child without her knowledge with a hidden camera inside a home in 2022. The second count says Hayes committed sexual abuse by touching a child when she was between the ages of 11 and 12. A former pastor has been indicted on 7 felony counts. A Fayette County grand jury indicted Zachary King on counts which include rape, sodomy, and sexual abuse. King was arrested last month. According to the arrest citation, he admitted to having a sexual relationship with a victim which started when she was 15 years old. A Magoffin County man was in court for his arraignment today. Jeremiah Brown pleaded not guilty to charges related to an arrest after an argument about a toaster pastry. Brown was indicted earlier this year. Brown's then girlfriend claimed he assaulted her at a home after the argument. Brown's public defender requested a bond reduction, but the judge ruled against that. The United States Court of Appeals has denied a motion filed by a man to suppress evidence related to the search of his vehicle. The incident stems from September 2021 in Wayne County when a joint undercover operation met Troy Huff in a grocery store parking lot on East Kentucky Highway 90 for a controlled purchase of illegal narcotics. Huff pleaded guilty to federal charges in 2022. The case will now return to the U.S. Eastern District Court of Kentucky for final sentencing. In Mingo County, West Virginia, a woman is facing child neglect charges after police found drugs in a home with a 10-year-old living there. Reba Chaffins was arrested by Mingo County deputies after giving them permission to search the home during a welfare check. Deputies say they found syringes that appeared to be loaded in the kid's bedroom and a white powder substance they say is consistent with fentanyl. Chaffins was taken to the Southwestern Regional Jail. On Wednesday, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, announced its disaster fund is out of money. WYMT's Amelia Lee spoke to a FEMA representative in Whitley County about what this could mean for those in eastern Kentucky.
I am standing right outside of the FEMA Mobile Disaster Recovery Center in Whitley County. Right behind me, there are booths that are set up to help eastern Kentuckians who went through losses during the severe storms that happened at the end of May. I talked to Gerard Hammock with FEMA, who tells me the ongoing situation regarding FEMA's disaster relief fund will not impact grants and help going towards those who need it now, including in eastern Kentucky.
Ongoing disaster recovery operations like what's happening behind me, those are continuing. Those are continuing to be funded, and the grants that people can apply for are going to continue to be funded. That's the priority.
Hammock says funding will go to critical requirements. According to FEMA, the chief financial officer can implement immediate needs funding guidance. This includes the continuation of funds going to survivors, like homes or other things they may need. In Whitley County, Amelia Lee, WYMT, Mountain News.
FEMA and the Small Business Administration will be in Whitley County through Saturday. Their hours are 10 until 7 at the Whitley County Cooperative Extension Office.
We had temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s again today. We are going to cool off, though, as we go into your Friday and Saturday and even Sunday, but rain and thunderstorm chances are in the forecast. Outside right now, we're seeing a mixture of sun and clouds. Temperatures right now are in the mid to upper 80s, low 90s towards Somerset, otherwise 89 in Prestonsburg, 85 Pikeville, 86 Grundy, 83 in Clintwood, 79 is the current temperature in Wise. And you take a look at the temperature change over the past 24 hours, almost everybody is substantially warmer as compared to this time yesterday. Ashland, though, a different story, 3 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. But all is quiet right now on live pinpoint Doppler radar. We are seeing a few little false echoes across portions of Pike County, but that's it. We're seeing a mixture of sun and clouds out there. As we go throughout the next 12 hours, we'll see temperatures in the low 80s by 9 o'clock. By the time you join us for Mountain News at 11, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, mid 70s as we go throughout your evening and overnight hours. Now, once again, rain and thunderstorm chances are in the forecast. Some places tonight, some places starting tomorrow and Saturday. We'll talk about that in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thanks. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell was at the U.S. Global Leadership Coalition South Summit in Louisville today. Senator McConnell was joined by Ashley Watts, the president and CEO of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, and several others. One of the things Senator McConnell was asked about was isolationism. He says the U.S. must continue to remain in a leadership position and that the country is an example of what every other democratic nation aspires to be.
As I said earlier, we are the example that every democratic country in the world wants to emulate. Good things will happen as long as we're in the leadership position. Isolationism will create enormous problems for this country, enormous.
Senator McConnell will step down as Republican leader later this year, but has 2 years left on his term as senator. Administrators with Perry County Schools pushed back the reopening of Buckhorn School, but officials say the $15 million reconstruction project is almost complete. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox gives us a look at what is done and not finished just yet at the school.
Administrators say the layout will be the same.
The building layout is all the same. The elementary wing, the high school wing, the corridors of the lunchroom, cafeteria.
Maggard says what students will see when they walk in will, however, be different.
New paint schemes, color schemes, new flooring, new kind of flooring, That's just more updated than what they had when they left.
Windows and doors installed or soon to be installed are temporary.
FEMA required us to put in flood-proofing windows and doors. So the windows and doors, and that increases the lead time, right? Because that's much different than what we had pre-flood.
Teachers have worked to set up classrooms. Painting, further construction, and inspections are still to be completed, leading to the delay.
We worked through those and are working through those with the construction manager and the architects and engineers. So we feel like it was going to be a few more days.
Maggard says they wanted to give students a better first day experience.
So we didn't want to push, we didn't want to rush, try to do anything that was just not really advantageous for Buckhorn to go back.
Administrators say they will apply for emergency days to make up for time missed. In Buckhorn, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
School will now start on August 26th for Buckhorn students. Jody Maggard says FEMA will be paying 75% of the costs for the project. The state will pay 12% and the school district will pick up the rest. More than $8 million is being invested into rural parts of the state. That funding comes from the USDA Rural Development and Appalachian Regional Commission. The city of Hazard is using multiple grants, and those grants will be used for several different things. Some of those include replacing a 70-year-old cast iron water line and making improvements to the primary sanitary sewer outfall in downtown. We have much more details about this on WYMT.com.
All right, take a look here at the satellite and radar right now. You can see we have a little bit of cloud cover out there, but rain and thunderstorm chances are in the forecast. Details in a few minutes.
And as the new school year approaches, students continue the process of moving back onto campus.